Hey Rocksteady, I wanted to hop on here and send you a quick video due to some texts and phone calls and emails I've gotten in the past couple of days. So if you are one of the people who has been upset or offended by or mad about the new rule for being late to class and burpees or the messaging behind it, this is your video. So please listen to it. So first of all, I will start out by saying I am really sorry if you were offended by, upset by those kinds of things regarding the new rule or the messaging behind it. That was never my intent. I'm not a mean and evil-spirited person, so I would never set out to make anybody upset, hurt any feelings, or anything like that. And I hope you know that. But if you don't, I'm here to tell you that was definitely not the intent. So I will apologize for the new rule if you don't like it, and also the messaging behind it. So I'm going to start out after that by telling you the why, in case somehow that was lost on some folks. So whenever you are getting to class several minutes late, and then having to put your wraps on, and then having to get a mat or a chair and things like that, you are typically missing the beginning stretches that we do down on the ground or in a chair, the core activation. Sometimes the entire warm-up is over by the time folks are getting ready to, start their time with us. And so when that is the case, that is really unsafe for you, because part of what we do as Rocksteady, as directed by Rocksteady, is offer that safe warm-up, the core activation at first, the dynamic stretching, then an actual warm-up to get the blood flow and the muscles warm and things like that, okay? So that's the main reason for this. That's why we need people to get to class on time, okay? I'm not gonna lie, it's also a little disruptive to have people coming in super late, walking over people, again, getting mats, things like that, having to direct them what to do while we're in the middle of another part of class. That's hard, all right, as a coach. And it also, again, is really unsafe if we skip any of those beginning parts. So that's the why. The other issue I'll just go ahead and address, I've addressed it before, the why do you need your wraps on before you stretch? Well, because whenever we don't do that, then we do our stretching, even if you're there for all of it, do the stretching, do the warm up. By the time you're out of your warm up and you go to get those wraps and your gloves on, maybe getting a drink, whatever it is, you're losing the benefit of that warm up because you're spending several minutes getting your gloves on plus your wraps. And the gloves already take a while. I know that too. So we're just losing the benefit of our heart rate being up and our muscles being warm and starting to get into that warm up by the time some of our folks get to the bags that you're like cool again, right? Because we've lost the benefit of that warm up. And so that's the other reason that we want to start with those wraps on. And that's nothing new. That's always been the expectation. Whenever I meet with people up front, I say that, and I've reminded people throughout this time that that's really what needs to be happening. Come in, get your wraps on, hit the mats or the chair for stretching, and then we go from there. So if you're missing several minutes of the first part of class, you're missing some of those things. So the other thing I will say is this is not meant to be a moment of public shaming or like public flogging. Nothing's going to happen. There's no scarlet L for being late worn on your shirt. Literally burpees, if you know me well, you know that I threaten them a lot because I think they're terrible. And I think most of you think they're terrible. So if I want people to do something or not to do something, typically I'm going to throw that out as an incentive or a deterrent. And so the burpees was kind of like started in fun after we saw Legends doing it. We thought, well, there's an idea. So again, not meant to upset anyone, meant to be like a public shaming moment. But if you do come into class late enough to miss the floor stretching or the chair stretching, that component of the stretching, and then all the way through to the end of the warm up, you're going to be expected to grab a mat, go ahead and hit a corner of the gym, get your stretches done, self-guided, self-paced, figure out what the warm-up was. Your coach can tell you. It's typically on the board. And then finish that warm-up with how many ever burpees you have for how many ever minutes late you were. Okay, nobody's going to be watching you. Nobody's going to be counting them with you. You're not going to be in the ring doing them. It's just going to be an expectation. And I'll tell you what, I have been late to class as well. Ask my 8:15 class. They know because they've been waiting on me outside the gym. And so whenever I am late to class or any other coach is late to class, we too will be doing burpees. Only I'll do mine in public as a spectacle in front of all of you because that's just who I am. I have no problem with that. So, so please know it's not just like a one-off as far as like this happening. It's for everyone. And again, it's not a huge deal. If you ask any coach out there, I promise you, they will tell you if part of their team, a member of their team is late to a practice or late to a game or late to something they're supposed to be at, they're going to be doing some sort of physical activity to reinforce the fact that they not be late the next time. And that really was our goal, just to try our hardest to get you guys as close as possible to class on time, okay? And I'm going to take this moment to also say, I know things happen. Traffic happens. Accidents happen. Kids are sick. You have Parkinson's, okay? I get that. I'm not being insensitive to that. I'm not saying that I don't know it takes a little bit longer to get things done for some of you. Absolutely, I know that. I see you on a weekly basis, so I'm aware of that. However, my goal is to get you to class as close to on time as possible. And in my life, if I find myself constantly late for something or running about 5 or 10 minutes late, barely making it on time or not making it on time, I'm trying to adjust my schedule and how I get prepared. And again, it doesn't always work out. I understand that. We're working not towards perfection, but towards progress. So just trying as best we can to be as close to the start of class as possible. In fact, my paperwork says 5 to 10 minutes early for class. So maybe if you change thought process that way and think, okay, that's what I need to do, maybe that will get you there on time or at least close to it. So again, if you were one of the people upset or angry, just reach out to me, please. There's no reason not to. Hopefully this clears it up and lets you know I wasn't trying to be a hag. Matt will probably tell you I'm a hag, but everybody else, I hope you don't think I'm that much of a hag. Not trying to be mean about things, just trying to achieve some goals and do something that was kind of tongue-in-cheek and a little bit silly, we thought, as we went along. But again, not my intent to offend or upset any of you. I would suggest not skipping class if you're going to be just a few minutes late. I wouldn't skip class if I was 20 minutes late. Just come in, grab your mat, get your stuff done, do your burpees. No big deal. I definitely would not miss class for just a few minutes. That to me is silly. I had a few people late to my classes today, didn't say a word about it. Wouldn't have even really thought about it, except for I kept getting messages the last couple of days about this. So, if we're in the middle of or have just started our floor stretching or, from a chair, but the beginning of the whole routine, awesome. Just jump right in. Nobody's even going to say anything. So, and really, I doubt your coaches will call you out on it anyway, even if you're several minutes late, because now you've all heard this is the expectation. So just make it happen. So I hope that makes sense. I really don't enjoy upsetting people. So I hope you guys feel better about things. If you don't, please reach out. I am happy to talk to you about it. And again, things happen to me all the time. So just know this is for all of us and we will continue getting better together. And I hope I see you guys in the gym later this week. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks.